Cormac Smith joins us, former Ukrainian Foreign Minister advisor. Cormac, always good to get your take on this. You heard what Mr Petyukov said just then. These are not necessarily hurdles that can't be surmounted, but there is a very real sense for many that Ukraine are the small guy in this story, and the real negotiations will happen with Mr Putin. Is that fair?
Ian, first off, hello. It's always good to join you. Look, this is incredibly difficult for the Ukrainians, and Sergei, I think, was being as moderate and diplomatic as he could at a time when his country is under the most abominable pressure. I said earlier on today in another interview, this is as bad as it gets. The champagne corks will be popping in the Kremlin at the moment. Putin has been desperate for this, and effectively, I think what it looks like is that Trump is riding to his rescue like some sort of a white knight. You know, Trump is supposed to be the author of The Art of the Deal. In what sort of a universe, before you even start negotiating, do you signal that you are giving one side everything they want? And you know what Pete Hegseth said in Brussels yesterday, and what was reported from Donald Trump's conversation with Vladimir Putin very closely mirror each other. And the two main things there is that, Ukraine will have to give up territory, and that NATO membership is off the table. We need to jerk ourselves back into reality. Ukraine has been illegally invaded, its sovereign territory, from 2014. Tens of thousands of its people have been killed, murdered, raped, kidnapped. Children have been illegally deported. Men in the occupied areas have been conscripted to fight against their own country. And they are to accept that somehow they are not there to give up this territory. I think.
Has there got to be some, though? Sorry to talk over you, Cormac, but some would say, look, it's a negotiation. Mr Zelensky might have to do a little bit of that. There's got to be some wiggle room. That's how negotiations work.
I'm very much afraid that Mr Zelensky may have to do some of that. But, you know, to go back to this picture of that's how negotiations work, did we negotiate with Hitler? No, we didn't. We fought until the evil of Nazism was defeated. Did we, in a much smaller conflict, did we negotiate with the junta in Argentina during the Falklands War? No, we didn't, because we saw it as a just cause, and we fought until the very end. We have had 3 years to support Ukraine and to enable Ukraine to defeat Russia and drive Russia back off their territory. And I'm afraid we have, during that 3 years, we have not given Ukraine everything they needed. We have drip-fed the support into such a way that we gave them sufficient to keep their head above water, but not to actually win. It seems to me now we have squandered that. The onus is very, very clearly now on Europe. I think it was very clear that Donald Trump was always going to pivot towards the Far East. The question is whether in Europe we are going to stand up. And this, of course, brings into very sharp focus the debate we're having in the UK at the moment about the amount we spend on defence. Currently at 2.3, the government's saying there's a ceiling of 2.5.
Sure.
But that ceiling probably needs to be, it probably needs to be a minimum of 3%. That's not just a hard choice for our leaders. That's a hard choice for you and me, Ian, as taxpayers, and for everybody listening to this programme.
Indeed. Cormac, thank you for your time.